Welcome back, guys. This is my first video in 2 months. But what's going on, guys? Gaming Wally here, and I'm going to tell you why there were 2 empty months. First of all, I had exams, but that wasn't the main reason. The main reason was that my game PC crashed due to the fact that my cooling was off and my CPU burned down. Not my fault. The cooling just was outdated and yeah, went down. So then you can say replace the CPU, but the motherboard was hurt very badly by the crash of the CPU. And yeah, then the only thing I can keep is the GPU and maybe the power supply. But when you need to buy a couple of new things, then you can better start with a new gaming PC. So I'm waiting for the new gaming PC. I hope you stick with my channel for a bit because I have some ideas, but I have to do them on my backup PC, which isn't that great for gaming, so recording isn't the case on higher detail games, so I have to play lower things like Minecraft or like this video Mount&Blade, which I very like, but my channel is about tactics on games, but tactics work on Mount&Blade. So we will see if you like this game. I will make some more videos about them. But the first news for today is of course my new blog. I write this blog just for the reason that yeah, my game PC crashed and I wanted you guys to have some new information about what's happening in the world about games. So I made a blog, and of course I didn't expect to have that many readers, but just my first article was really actually very top notch in blog world. I said, yeah, I had that many readers, and they say, wow, it was very good. So I'm going to continue doing my blog. I hope you guys will read my blog. It's in the description below where you should read them, and yeah, I hope you will read it and like it, because I can say more in text than in a video. But what we are going to do today is also the ps4. They released some hardware specs on that a couple of days ago, and I'm going to tell you what I think is the best solution, just a gaming PC, or maybe that ps4 will be great. The Xbox, we don't know any of the hardware on that specifically, so I can't tell you about that, but I really hope that Microsoft will have a little bit better specs. And why I hope that is, I'm not going to tell, but maybe PS4 is going to change even the hardware specs, and even a little bit more expensive, because I think that the PS4 will be a little bit too cheap for the most part, because I think that if it's will cost a little bit more, it will reach a level that it can sustain maybe 5 or 6 years as a great console, and not what the PS3 and the Xbox 360 are doing now. They are little bit low on quality, I think, and yeah, I do. That's why the most PC gamers are not so fond of the consoles anymore, and I want consoles to be great, because then the developers of games can make the PC games much better. And what the problem I had with the with my gaming PC was that yeah, I had maybe 140 frames a second, and yeah, what you're doing, you can't see them. Some major gamers say, yeah, I like more frames is better. But if you ask me, I don't see any of the difference above 80 FPS. I don't really know that. Yeah, some say, oh, I can see 120, but don't listen to them. That is too much. Really, if you have 80 or 60, it's perfect. Higher than that, I don't know why you would. But yeah, the PS4. So what did they say? They had some really social media talks about that. That's not my opinion about it. I don't really am excited about that. You can do it with the PC. I always play PC, so I don't. Nothing really to talk about for me. But then they said the hardware specs, and I'm pretty excited about it a little bit because they said that the hardware was an 8-core AMD processor. I really like them. But what's the problem with that on the games for the moment is that they are not optimized for use on games. The games aren't optimized for the processors. What is what I mean? They are actually optimized for dual CPUs, and that's what's in the console. So actually, they make the games due to the consoles, and that is something I really want to get away from. But so the CPU will now make the developers get better results into their games, and that will be a good reason for us PC gamers, because then they will make greater games for the more core processors and will not weight so heavy on your system overall. Then they said a little bit about the GPU. The GPU is they did tell that it was very great. I saw some pictures from some new games, and they looked really good. It was like Skyrimish on I think not ultra, but maybe a little bit less, but that sort of graphics, and that's actually really good for a console. And I was really excited about it because if they can reach that level, that means that they have a little bit better than decent GPU in the new console, and that will have to say that it's maybe compared to the 660 or even a 660 Ti, but I doubt that, because otherwise the cost will be too great for the new consoles, and then nobody will be able to afford the new console, so they have to reduce the price. And I think it will be an AMD 7850. I guess that there will be in the PS4. That's my guess. Of course, it's almost a 660, but I think it's a little bit less in value. It's my opinion. There is a discussion between Nvidia and AMD. I'm not going to give my opinion because I'm not that great in knowing how to use our hardware. But yeah, that brings us to our new topic for today. PS4 versus gaming PC, and a lot of people have already talked about this. A gaming PC or console. What did I have to tell? I already said so. The CPU was really. I thought it was good that they put an 8-core in it. It was good for the PC world. But now the GPU was a little bit better than medium, I would say. So what is going to be the price of that PS4? I guess that if together the CPU and the GPU that's within the system will be around $500, and as I'm not happy to say that, but in Europe they don't reach the values of the money they use, so it will be also $500 euros, I mean, for in Europe. So it's actually the same price in dollars we are going to pay here in Europe. So for all Europe listeners, yeah, this is not a fair deal, but we are the greatest market for games, so yeah, that's going to be a really problem for us. So I'm going to tell everything in dollars because that's going to be the best thing to compare to for the whole world. But $500 for the two main things in the system. If you know a little bit about building a computer, you know that you need some motherboard and some sound card. That's going to be in it. The sound card, I really know that. So And they have some special software that they put in. They don't use something like a Windows, just so you don't need that, but they made their own software and their own special features, and that's going to be a very, very expensive thing in a thing. And I should say that you have to increase that price of 500, just you have to double it to $1,000 that the console is going to cost the developers to make. But who is going to pay $1,000 just for a console? Nobody does. So what did they do with the PS3? They reduced their price by 300. So I'm guessing that the new console will be $699 as a price, and I think it will be that price. So it was almost. I think it's the same price for the PS3. It was when it released. I don't know, but I guess it will be the same price you are going to pay. And so then a 700 euro or dollar computer, is it better than the PS4? And I directly have to say no, but there is one big but. If you pay the 300 extra, you have a better gaming PC than the console would be. So 1000 versus 700. What's the big deal? First of all, a TV is always more expensive than a monitor. You don't need a big monitor, but you need a big TV because you are sitting in your couch. It's maybe 4 meters, 3 meters away from your screen. So the TV is more expensive. It's cost almost 1,000. So I'm not going to mock about those things, but the big thing is, if you buy a PC for gaming, you also got a PC. People who buy only a console, and I'm not saying the TV or something, they have to buy a PC. Can you buy a PC for 300 euros, a normal PC, not a laptop or something? No, you can only buy it for 500, so you are more expensive just by buying the console. Okay, for gaming it's better, but I say buy a gaming PC. Never buy a console. I think it's not a good idea actually to buy it. But if you have a gaming PC and want to play some console games, and you want to be fluid, like sports games, I always say use a console. But then in the end, what should you use? I say a PC. Okay guys, I think that's going to be it. I'm going to upload a little bit about those lesser games in the future, because my gaming PC is off and I'm using now my backup PC and I can't record the better games, so lesser games in the future. There are not that many things I have to say about my channel, but the really thing I ask you is, if you haven't subscribed, please do, and read my blog, because I'm really excited about it, that it's really good actually, that the people say that it's good. So read my blog if you haven't done that, and I see you in the future on my channel, and as a subscriber or a like. If you have some questions, please ask them, and goodbye.